Man, I missed you guys. How weird is this? I don't know why it says 8:05 PM. I left it. I saved it at 6:30, and it just went to 8:05 PM. So that was I don't know if that was a mistake. I'm almost 90% positive that I literally said 6:30, not 8:05. Um, First of all, I just want to say I'm home. I'm home. I've been home for a couple days. Man, I have so much to go over with you guys. So much. Missed you guys, man. How weird it's been that I've been out of here. I feel like I haven't seen you guys in forever. Let me start with positives, okay? I want to start with the positives because I'd rather start there. So you guys know we have our PO box, and you guys have went out of your way, above and beyond, to be loving to our family. I just want to share a few things. So I'm not gonna ever share the letters with you guys, or excuse me, I'm never gonna share what these letters say. I told you I'd read them. I've read through your letters, and they're beautiful. So thank you for these, and these are very treasured to me. So I'm gonna keep these. Um, I'll start with the things that you guys have sent. This is such a beautiful little touch. It's Bible verses for different emotions, and they're just one verse. And so when you open them, you unroll them, you can read a little Bible verse that goes with that emotion. It's a beautiful thing. And I've been using this, by the way. Okay. Now, when I saw these things, I didn't know what they were. I'm going to leave the big one for last. I got a button down shirt that's the Star Wars ships, and she said, "Now your buttons won't pop." And this looks dope on me. So you're going to like this. You're going to like seeing it. You're going to see this in a stream. This is on the rotation. So just want you guys to know, man. And this isn't about like, I don't want you to feel like I'm trying to gloat or anything. I'm so thankful. Like, you guys are amazing. And like, this is so kind of you. Like, this is what I mean by like a family. You guys are amazing. So, and all these things mean a lot to me. Even like, I don't think you guys know the letters mean a lot to me too. They're from your heart. And I really, really appreciate that. Now this one, I didn't know what this was for a second. I got a big box. Didn't know what it was. This is like a dream. All right. As far as practicality. Okay. This is my vibe. Someone knew what they were doing. This is a popcorn making machine. Okay. I love popcorn. You guys might remember I literally got on and I had the biggest bag of popcorn when we did our movie night. This is a popcorn machine that is the freaking Death Star. Okay. Get out of here with that. That's crazy. So I have it in the office. I bought the popcorn stuff today, but I'm kind of scared to touch it because I like the way it looks. So I got one last thing for you on the high note, because we got to go through a lot of the lows, to be honest with you. I got to tell you about a lot of the lows. Where is it? You know, just something light. The Walmart lion. I can't even get it off my neck fast enough. I'll just leave it on. We got the Walmart lion. We got the lion. I gotta find a what's it called? I gotta find an ice cube too. Yeah, I know. That's why I'm just telling you guys, you're literally like the sweetest people and the most down to earth people. And you just reached out your hands, all of you, and just like surrounded our family with love. And man, that's just that's just a lot. Like it's a good thing. I just never thought I'd ever have a family again in my life. I've never had such a family like this in my life. So I just wanted you to know that, you know. What's up, Slow? I don't care, man. I like Walmart stuff. I had to get this. I told you guys I saw it the other day, and I'm like, this is just. I was gonna try to get even more over top one, but I like this one. Oh, we love our guy, man. You know, I barely got to see my guy, but oh man. So just thank you guys. I'll never be able to say it. I wrote a small little thing for you guys yesterday. Just never be able to tell you guys how much I appreciate you and love you. And this showed me we really are that family. I didn't really need proof, but this proved that we are. And I'm just like, I'm overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed with emotions. So miss you guys, man, for real. I'm going to give you guys a full rundown of what happened. I know I told you little bits and pieces. I think I just felt like I owed what happened to you in full context all the way through what happened with sentencing and where I'm at now. So yeah, I know I look kind of sick. I think I lost some pounds for sure. I just don't feel good. I can't work out and can't do much. So let me go through it though, and I'll be reading guys' chats. My mouse decided to stop working, so that's awesome. Okay, so this is what we're going to go through. So I'm just going to start. So back on the 14th, I started running again, right? I was really excited. I really wanted to have something competitive. I posted about it on Alpha Made because I wanted to, my whole goal with that video was going to be like starting the new, health binge. That was the whole point. So I missed you. So glad you're home healing. Look for some Chiefs gear soon. I'm headed to KC tomorrow. I love it. I love it. I have my stuff, like all my Chiefs hats and stuff. Yeah, man, it's good to see you guys. Missed you guys, man. Yeah, I did. I lost weight pretty quickly. Okay, so let's go through it. So I go for that run, right? And I go for the run, and then like the day before I went to the hospital that night, Ava woke up late, and I ended up going in there with her for a while, like maybe like an hour and a half, maybe even longer than that. She would not sleep. And while I'm in her room, I get the worst headache I think I've ever felt at that time, by the way, in the back of my head. And I never get migraines. I never get headaches. So I'm sitting there like, man, I don't know what to do. Like this is really bad pain. And the only time I've ever had pain close to that was with sinus infections, like really bad. I didn't have one. So I'm like, okay, this is a horrible headache. Maybe it's just like, I thought to myself, it's because I went running, right? Like I ran so hard today that I got, some kind of headache because I don't run a lot. So yes, Amy, I know it's already like 95. Your body adjusts to it pretty quickly, like I didn't feel like it was too bad. Once I got outside and started running, I warmed up to it, right? Like your body kind of acclimates, you start sweating, you're decent, right? And that's the time you'd want to do, right? So I go for that run, and then I have the headache, and then my neck, because Kelsey and Carter got sick, and when they got sick, their necks hurt really bad and they had headaches. So I'm just saying too, I probably also got what they got. That's why I feel this way. So I'm just like kind of brushing it off. So the next day after the headache, I think maybe I didn't work out. I don't know. And so we go out, do our day. And that night I go to sleep around like 9:00. And I remember at some point around midnight, I went to just roll over in bed. And when I went to roll over, it felt like my body wasn't coming with me. And I'm like, this is the hardest I've ever tried to move in my life, right? I couldn't write a letter, but I did email you. You did so well at sentencing. You make me believe I'm stronger than my family story. I'm so glad, Allie. I will start reading emails again. Like I have days that I was reading your guys' emails. And you know what I mean? It's just hard to do that, right? Like it's hard to do everything right now, but I will, I promise. So I'm trying to roll over, nothing's happening. So I'm laying on my left side, and this is like it was, guys, it was really scary. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like as far as something that's happened to me, I mean, I've been hit by a car personally. I told you guys that story. I don't have a lot of like major physical trauma like that, like either something like this happening or, getting hit by a car, whatever the case is. So I was on my left side, and I went to get up because I felt crazy. I can't explain to you. Like it was like I was on another planet. My brain was like, where are you? What's happening? What's going on? So I was freaking out. And I remember I pushed my arm up, and I go like this, and my hand's like this. And I'm literally picking my arm up, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like touching it. And I'm like, there's no feeling, but there is. Like you can barely feel that. There's nothing really happening. My arm is just dangling like this. and it was hard to pick my arm up at all. And so I'm like, crap, I got to do something. So I stand up out of bed and I'm shaking my hand like this, like get blood going, whatever. And it doesn't get better. It gets worse. It gets higher and now more numb to a point where I could just see that I was squeezing my hand, but I couldn't really feel it at all. I couldn't feel anything. And my hand, I was like, my hand numb. And then my face started to tingle. And when my face felt that way, I went, oh my gosh, this might be a stroke. I might be having a stroke. And Kelsey had woken up and already was like alert. And she said she for some reason knew that God was telling her I was having a stroke. Like she was just like this. She's like, what's going on? And I'm like, something's wrong, something's wrong, something's wrong. And after I do that, I'm like trying to walk around. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with myself. And I was so like, I didn't know what was going on. I'm trying to get dressed. She's like, you're going to the hospital. And I told you guys this, but I was in the mirror and I had my phone like this in the light, trying to smile. Like I know, cause I know if I'm having a stroke, my face, something will happen to my face. And unfortunately, once I went downstairs, I sat there for a minute and my face kept dropping and dropping. And it's like you are aware the entire time that this is happening, but you don't have any control. You are out of control. You're losing the ability to move your arm. You're losing the ability to speak. So Kelsey's like, where are you going? Because I knew I was going to the hospital. So I actually tried to go upstairs and like grab a go bag. Like I was like thinking, even in that moment, I'm like, if I'm going to the hospital, I need my charger. And I was like trying to be logical. And when Kelsey's like, Colby, where are you going? Come here. I turned around to speak to her. And it was like, literally like imagine just trying to speak with like, I don't know, jello in your mouth or like pudding, like you can't talk through it, right? You're not going to sound clear. And I was like sitting there like, what is like, it's happening. I'm having a stroke. There's nothing I can do about it. So she's like, come sit down on the thing. Go bag. I'm not kidding, guys. I literally logically thought I need stuff, but then I started wobbling. So I'm like, I can't walk straight. I don't know where I'm at. I don't know what planet I'm on. I can't control my arm. I can't speak. And then, at that point, I'm still like more conscious a little bit, right? Like I'm still there. I remember that really well. And then, so I'm sitting there and I'm like, Kelsey's talking to me. She's like, are you okay? Can you breathe? All this stuff. And I'm like trying to speak to her and I'm like shaking my head because the words won't come out of my mouth. I'm just mumbling, nothing. So the paramedics show up at our house. It's 1 a.m. in the morning at this point, or 12 something. And the paramedics come and start talking to me. And I'll never forget that, like, I heard what they were saying and I couldn't talk. Like, they go, hey, man, what's your birthday? And I'm like, and my brain's burning. And he would tell me the question and it would sit there and then it would just dissipate. Like, I literally couldn't remember what he said. And he said it multiple times. And he said, he's trying to just give me simple bases, right? And he's trying to just talk to me. Doing that, right? Like he's just talking me through my life. He's trying to ask simple things like, what date is it? What, simple things, birthday, what's your wife's name? Like things like that. And I couldn't tell him. Like I just couldn't do it. So then he goes, stick your hands out. So I'm like this, and he's like, flip them. And this one goes, and this right one's just, I'm like, and he's like, flip them. And I thought I flipped it. I thought I had control of my hand, and I didn't. And so they put me on the stretcher, and I'm just out the door. And I remember it, right? Like I'm in the ambulance. He's talking to me. He's asking me all these different questions. And I just keep telling him, I'm like, what did you say? And he asks again. I'm like, what do I say? And my eyes were closed because I was trying to think. And he'd go, what'd you, this? And I go, and it would sit there. I can explain it like that thought, hearing what he said, and it sits for about 3 seconds. And then it just like disappears. Like someone pull it out of my brain. So finally we get there. I start having that headache from hell. Like it was the most excruciating headache I've ever had. So they try to, get me an IV. They're not really talking to me much. And they're pumping me full of stuff. And one of the first things they gave me was, I don't remember what it was. It's a really high pain tolerance. I know, or painkiller. I knew I had, fentanyl. I know I had, what's that stuff called? Morphine. And I know I had another really high one, but I think I had fentanyl twice, morphine, and one other one. So because even though I was on at that point, I had the fentanyl, I had a bunch of pills that I took when I was better, I had morphine, and it didn't go away. The headache didn't go away. And I'm sitting there like it felt like my brain was going to pop out of my freaking head. And I remember thinking like, God, like I don't like I was gonna vomit. It was such a, and again, I have a high pain tolerance. We're talking about front to back, every single part of your brain is inflamed at one time, and it's controlling everything in your body. Your stomach, you feel like you're gonna vomit. You're rocking back and forth. My arm's still weak. Can't really do much with this arm, so it's just kind of like there. And just it was horrible. It was such a horrible feeling, and you're just so scared, but you can't. Like I haven't had panic attacks in a while. I really worked through my panic attacks. I was having panic attacks, bro. My heart, and I have to share this with you. My heart was scared, but something about me, even in that moment, and I honestly really like. I've always had this part of me, but when I tell you guys, yeah, I did vomit. By the way, I'm getting to that point. Um, I will tell you that I threw up a lot, and it was horrible. Um, but it was really mental. Like a part of me was like telling myself, and this might sound harsh to you, but I'm like, you can do this and don't be scared. And I said, don't be something else. But if you take out the bad words you say to yourself, I really did find out how mental some of this stuff was. And I'm not talking about the stroke or any of that stuff, but some of the fear I had for the first time, like truly told myself, you're okay. You're going to be fine. And there was a couple times where I told myself, you're not in pain. And it started to feel better. And it's just not like, I don't know how to explain it other than just what I told you, just the truth. Like you wouldn't understand how powerful your brain is until you're in a moment like that, where you don't have an option and you have to tell yourself, stay alive. And because the panic attacks were making everything worse. Like you're getting spizzy, you're getting crazy. You don't know how to take care of yourself at that moment. You have no way to soothe yourself. You're already in a bad situation. You already have a headache. You already are sick to your stomach. Your arm's gone. You're barely talking normal at this point. Your brain's not there. And so what do? You tell yourself you're going to make it. And you mean it when you say it to yourself. You tell yourself for real in your head, you can do this and you're going to do this, and you fight for it, right? Like just keep going. Do not give up on yourself. And so that was what part of that. And then on the way up to the room, I was throwing up hard. Like I couldn't stop throwing up. And it was tough. It was tough. So we got up to my room, I got settled in, and my symptoms really went away by the morning, like the stroke symptoms. And so now it's testing time. So I wake up to physical therapy, and then we go through, heart. They checked my heart. They checked everything, right? So there's constant, that whole first day is just constant. I had some amazing nurses though over there. So I could name them all at this point because I became friends with them. There's such amazing people, man. They took such good care of me. The doctors were amazing. I have to say, like, I felt pretty safe. But there's two parts to this, right? So that first time I had 2 MRIs, a spinal tap, 2 or 3 CAT scans, and constant blood work, heart diagram. I don't know what to call it. Heart, whatever. And just a lot of testing due. So then they tell me, okay, so you definitely have all the signs of meningitis. You probably have meningitis, and now we need to determine if you have viral meningitis or bacterial. Bacterial is like really, really dangerous. Like you have very, very short window to survive bacterial meningitis. If they catch it correctly and fast enough, you're good, right? So now I'm thinking, oh crap, which one do I have? And they're checking my blood, everything's coming back normal. They're scanning me, they're seeing stuff in my head. So they saw a bunch of different things in my head that each scan presented something different. And so I'm thinking something's in my brain, which is the most dangerous place it could be. So that was the first 3 days of being there. And then I met with a neurologist, I met with a disease doctor, I met with so many people who were really trying. and they were doing everything they could. Then they go, well, you're getting better. My last scan didn't show anything in my brain anymore. They just were like, okay, this was just the meningitis, and we're going to give you everything that you need to be able to go home and just take this and it will go away. So I came home, wrecked right after Spinal Tap. And, I just feel like that was what it was. Like I was going to be home. I was going to take pills and I was going to recover. So Monday goes and I'm like, I'm not going to lie to you. It's so hard for me to stay down after a few days like that. So my brain was like on go mode. They cleared me. So I'm like, cool, I'm good. Like I could go get in even a light walk. And I was thinking, by the way, I'm talking about at the gym. Because I just wanted to use the treadmill and I was thinking I might even lift a little bit. But the second day on Tuesday night, and at this point, they think that I have viral meningitis. So I'm staying away from the kids, staying away from Kelsey, no contact really, like trying to not spread meningitis to my family. And, we were yeah, I know you were. They thought that I was good. Tuesday night, I'm sleeping in the other room and I wake up and I'm panicking. I don't even know why I'm panicking. And then I go, mother fricker, my arm is numb and my face is tingling. And I go, I can't have a second one, right? Like I wake up and I run into our room where Kelsey's sleeping and I go, Kelsey, please tell me this is not happening. Like that was pure panic. I didn't have a hold on it at that moment. I was like, Kelsey, please tell me this isn't happening. Like, and I knew a second stroke would be like, who knows, irreversible. And so I had it. I had it. And I didn't have the stroke all the way. It's really weird. It sat at a very specific spot where it didn't like make me go through the whole process, meaning like I didn't have the droop. I didn't have the arm all the way. I could still feel my arm just enough, but I never went through with the stroke. So I was just sitting in this place for like an hour. So I went to the hospital, walked into ER, told them, said, I was here a day and a half ago. I had just a mini stroke on Friday morning, and I feel like I'm about to have one right now because it is sitting here like in limbo of actually doing it. So they threw me in back to square one. Now I'm here for the 4 days, full 4 days. And this is the test zone. I had another spinal tap. I had another, a bunch of different experts come through. They were all like working together. They took great care of me. And by the way, I don't think that they did the wrong thing because when I explained to you what I actually have, the doctors didn't test for it, so they didn't know it was there. So finally, after I think the second day, the disease doctor and the neurologist come in. They're asking me all these questions about lifestyle and places you've been and all these things, right? Normal. But then the neurologist is really doing it. Like he's on his stuff and he is asking every question in the book. Finally, he comes back later and he goes, have you ever had valley fever? I was like, no, never, ever even. I know I've heard of it, but I don't even know what it is. And he goes, valley fever is from the soil, right? And basically it can get kicked up and go into your lungs and give you this infection in your lungs. And I was like, yeah, I've never had that. Well, this is what's insane. Kelsey can probably help me a little bit more with the official way that this worked. So basically, after a couple more tests, they're waiting for the spinal tap results still. So I haven't even got those. But yeah, Kelsey's right. So it's fungus, but I'll explain that in a few minutes. Basically, what happened is it's fungus from the soil. The soil comes up into your face. You breathe it in. What happens is usually it sits in your lungs, and it's really bad to have valley fever. It's messed up. Like a lot of times dogs get valley fever because they're on the ground and they'll literally go sniff the soil, right? So there's valley fever from that. But what happened was supposedly they found the valley fever. So it went in, it sat in my right lung, and then it said, no, we're cool here. We're actually going to go to your brain. So it goes through your bloodstream and it went up and goes into my head and circles that thing with fungus, my entire brain. So now I'm literally I'm gonna have this fungus for 3 months. Probably, it could be a lifetime thing. It's way different. I would have rather had viral than anything. Yeah, they found it because there's a small mass in my right lung, very small. And they're like, oh, we're going to check for cancer. We don't know what that thing is. It's more likely that it's this. But what happened is it traveled up, and that's how it was inflaming my brain. The problem with the fungus part just alone is that since that fungus is so hard to kill, if whatever reason that, it's not, the medicine needs to be higher or lower, it could be a really, really, bad thing going forward, because that fungus could just spread more and pressure down on my brain again and do who knows what. And I don't really think you can go in there and get it, right? You can't like suck the fungus out. It's a growth. And so right now, we're waiting for more results for the spinal tap. They don't think it's cancer, but I don't know if they ever did more with that. I think when you have cancer, you would have a white blood count, right? Like you would have something hot. You'd have other signs of cancer. I'm really grateful that I'm okay. But I mean, even just yesterday, I tried to get up and walk around the other day. Yeah, let me address that real quick. This is like in the 1% of people that this will ever happen to. Valley fever has taken people's lives. It's no joke to have valley fever, but mine just turned into meningitis. The meningitis and gave me mini strokes, and you can't really ever prepare for a mini stroke, right? Like you don't know if you're going to have a mini one or have the all the way one. And when I was speaking to the neurologist, they were like, this is like the scariest thing you can go through is a stroke, because if you have a full on stroke, that is it. You are stuck forever with that. So I gave you all that context because it's in the 1% of all things ever that ever happened. That's why they couldn't find it. They couldn't find it because it's such a rarity that they don't test for it. You'd have to be the neurologist. I think he figured it out. He's the one that was like, this could be valley fever, and it could have bypassed somehow and gotten to his brain. And this guy's amazing. He's so smart. He's probably the one reason I'm here right now. Who knows? Right? Because if they didn't figure that out, how long do you think I would have had if my brain was just going through that? And again, yesterday, taking all my medicine, we went to the mall just to walk around for a couple minutes, just to move my body. And when we got to one of the stores, I went to go grab the girls' change for them to give. And I picked my hand up, and it just didn't really want to do what I wanted it to. And I was like, no, dude, I'm at the store. They cannot have a third one. Then I felt my tongue go numb, and then my face. All you need to know, and this is the warning signs, if you have your hand is numb and you feel your face tingly, you shouldn't even hesitate. If you feel any of those signs ever in your life, have someone call 911 or you call 911, because you'd rather have them pick you up and take you, or have someone take you to the hospital right then, than let it go all the way through, if it's somehow possible to stop it or be, in the presence of that. So, yeah, and that's horrible, Tony. That actually really, really hurts my heart. And you guys know, man, I'm not gonna lie to you, like that was really, really traumatizing. I really thought that I was gonna be fine. But when I feel that hand, like I do this to my hand all the time now. I'm pressing down on it. I'm touching it. Like, but yeah, let me tell you something, like I'm gonna get emotional and I don't even care. I don't like to go to the doctors. I don't play around with that. I hate the hospital. I don't like that. Had Kelsey not called right then, I don't know what would happen. So she saved me too. She acted exactly how you should. And it's just crazy, man. Like I was so scared, because it's like, dude, what if I'm gone and they don't have what they need? Like my family can't be taken care of, and they just are left with nothing. So you get a lot of those thoughts. You get a lot of time to think in a hospital. I know you guys who've been in the hospital know, like, if you're just sitting there and you're literally laying down almost 24/7 because you can't move, you get a lot of time to think. And I'm still technically just as much in recovery as is normal. I also promise you guys, like, I'm not gonna push myself or do something I shouldn't. I've been smart enough to do that. I mean, when I'm sitting here, we're all here, and it's not gonna hurt me or bother me to sit here and talk to you guys or make me feel like crap. But I just wanted to let you guys know where that was coming from. And then lastly, I just say this: like, it wasn't when there's a victim impact statement like that, you can't really prepare yourself for it. You also can't really emotionally prepare for that. And I actually was trying to get out so I could go read the statement because I thought that that made me feel better. I thought that if I read that statement, I would feel relief and I'd say what I needed to say and I could just say done. I'm cool. I don't need anything else. And I don't know, man, like I read that statement and I had this moment of relief. And then the reality is it's like this doesn't change anything. She doesn't care what I'm saying anyway. That's number one. Number two, like there's no way to know how you're gonna feel after something. I think maybe I tricked myself because in April I left feeling so good, such relief. Like, oh, it's like I deflated down from the sky to more to the ground where you want to be. But it's not, it doesn't feel different. And I just wanted to give you guys that honesty. Like, if you ever have to give an impact statement, I hope you get your relief. You deserve it. Anybody who is on here who has given one, I hope you got healing from it. I did say what I wanted to say, and I think she heard me. Um, I told you guys last time. I was literally waiting to say my piece, and I'm like sixth down on this list, and they're like, "Oh, Larry's not here, Susan's not here, Bobby's in here. Who is here? Colby Ryan's here. Let's start with you." And I went, "No, no!" Like I needed 1 minute, to just like breathe. I wasn't ready to be doing that, but it's not like you're scared, but it's just like a shock. So I was like, okay, take a breath. You got it. I don't like to show her my emotions. So I tried not to really show her my emotions, but can't help it. I guess overall, I maybe I put too much thought into this idea that I was going to be really like uplifted after. Um, it is over. I'll say these things to you guys. It is over. You're never going to get back what you lost. And you're never going to get the people back that you lost and that you love. So I guess you just have to find out how you can make as much peace with it as possible. And then you deserve to move on. So I guess that's how I walked away from this last few events. There was not a lot of ups and downs. I'm a workout to emotionally regulate guy. So to not be able to do anything, like literally nothing, was a hard thing. It was. And you kind of find out what it is when you get everything taken away, right? Like you can't, I mean, more than anything, I was talking to Kelsey, and that was the only relief in there. I'm not gonna act like it was a horrible hospital. It was a great hospital. They took good care of me. They didn't neglect me. They did everything they were supposed to. I made really good friends. Rhonda, shout out to Rhonda. She subscribed because they saw my hat, and she came in, and Rhonda's like, "Why don't you tell me you're giving an impact statement today?" I was like, "What? How do you even know how did you even know that?" Like, she's like, "You did great." And I was like, "Rhonda, I love you," because that was sweet of you. But I had no idea that she knew anything. So that was a shock, but she was such a great nurse, and they all were. So I think one question I saw a lot, like, do you feel better? Or do you feel that she should apologize to you? or do you feel like you want to talk to her? I don't think she'll ever apologize, so I don't expect that. Um, she'll never apologize. I don't expect her to apologize to be better. What I do think is, do I feel better that it's over? Yes, it's over in the court system. And that she gets to go to portal of whatever she wants to do, and she wants to be that way. Um, the reality is, do I want to talk to her? I don't know. What I don't know if there would ever be something I could say to her, but at the same time, that part of you does to get your closure. So it's a really conflicting place to be. It's dual minded. Like, no, I could go the rest of my life without ever talking to her. And that makes sense. And then it's like, well, what if I never said something and I never got closure for me and I just spoke for myself and got the closure, you know? So, you know, just weird, man. Emotionally hard week, a physically hard week. I'm just trying to be raw with you guys, man. That's just how we do our thing. Like, this is kind of therapy for me, like just to get it all out in one swoop. But, and it's weird. Like, I was thinking about our channel and I was thinking about, like, there's just so many things that go through your mind. And I don't know. I feel protective of you guys. I feel protective of just our community, right? Like, we could just sit here and talk like this for the whole channel. I wouldn't care. And we could just talk, see how you guys are doing. I don't know, man. Just a lot in this one week. Started last Friday. And it really humbles you to be in a room having panic attacks, which you haven't had in a long time. And I'm always fearing around the corner that I'm just going to have a stroke. And that's scary. And that makes me feel like I can't be the person I need to be. Like, it's literally a fear because now I've felt that feeling 3 times. I've only had one, but it's a scary place to be. And then, you're trying to pick up, keep going. You guys you help me understand that I have some purpose and you make me feel loved. I mean, obviously my wife does that for me. She's incredible. She's amazing. My kids are that, regardless. They're little lights in the world. And, but there's so many things that go through your mind in a short amount of time. And, like, you can never prepare for it. So I guess what I'll share with you is this. What I've already learned, and maybe I'm going to sound dumb because it's only been a couple days. It's been like, a little over a week, but I've been more in the moment with my family and it's been beautiful. Like, I've been sitting here, sitting with my kids, like, just really being present, really being present. I'm not talking about sitting there or talking or this, like, pick up a toy and play with my daughters more often, or listen to about everything that they're thinking and just really, really do that, So yeah, been trying to do that a lot. Thank you, man. It's just a lesson. I guess what the point was, my lesson is to you is spend more time present, because you're just sleeping one day and then you wake up and have a stroke, and that could have been the end right there. Or the valley fever. If I didn't have that stroke, I wouldn't have gone to the hospital. So then that leaves me in a place where, maybe something worse happens because I never went to the hospital and something bad happened in the background because I didn't have a stroke. And if I didn't have that stroke, I wouldn't have gone, or I would have gone and got brushed off because they'd be like, well, we tested you for everything. You have nothing. Right. And that wouldn't necessarily be their fault because it's so rare in this case. It's so rare to have fungal meningitis from from valley fever, and the way that it worked, it's just so unbelievably rare. So they would have missed it, and it really wouldn't have been their faults. So glad to see you home. Missed if you talked about Friday, but you did amazing, my mother. And I haven't talked in 22 years, so needed for my own mental well-being, but the part of me still misses my mom. Praying for a good rest, get some treats for the fam. Thank you so much, Carla. And I 100% understand where you're coming from. It's a duality. It's weird. It's like you're fighting yourself. You think, like, You're part of the inner child, and you loves your mom, like unconditionally. Doesn't matter what they do. But the adult in you knows if they're just hurting everybody around you. Why would you give someone like that the room in your life? Thank you, man. So I just thought we'd just sit here and do some real stuff, man. Oh, Laura, you're sweet. It's very sweet. Thank you. It's just it's weird, man. This is what I'll say, man. And again, this might have been one of the most important things. So I'll be honest with you. I'm not super. I used to be really claustrophobic. Okay, really claustrophobic. Like put a blanket over my head, and I'm like screaming as a kid, like freaking. I can't breathe. Right? Like the second a blanket goes over you, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. And good job, Colby. Ever expecting an apology for someone like Lori is like would be like going to Home Depot for bread. Never had it, never will. Exactly. It's okay. But you really do. You are so much stronger than you think. Even in your most lonely, scared moments of your life. I'm not saying you have to do this to be tough. This isn't about toughness. This isn't about any of that. This is about your own well-being. So I got into the MRI multiple times. And the first time I was like, fine. Like I was like, I had that one little moment of like, dang, I don't like this tube. And I have a freaking gate over my head and I got headphones on and I got my headphones are in a box and I'm like, get my head out of here. I don't like laying flat. Someone's tickling my toes, get out of here. So we'll talk about the spinal taps too. That was actually easier for me than the what's it called? That was actually easier for me to handle than the MRI for some reason. Love your message to be more present. May you have some super relaxing and calm months ahead. Yeah, you know what? We're going to take that vacay. We're going to do it. I don't care if we just drive 5 hours to the beach in California and just sit on the beach for a day. It'd be nice to get out. I was in the MRI, they shut it. And this one of the times I got tired because it was a double. So it was like way longer. And I fell asleep. And when I woke up, I had that dazed feeling. And so I didn't know where I was for like half a second. And then it's like, I'm trapped. And I'm like, boom, boom, boom. Like I'm going to freak out. And they give you the buzzer. And I'm like, I'm going to hit that buzzer. And I went, no, you're not. It's so weird. It's like you coach yourself out and you go, you're not going to do it. It's okay. You're fine. You can breathe. Like I just talked myself through it. And I was like, then I calmed down. I'm like, where was that? I've needed that for a long time. Where you been, brother? Where you been at? The one with rationale in a scary moment? Where you been? But it was great. And it's just so many moments like that. Just in the hospital alone. The spinal tap. All I've ever heard. I looked it up and there's all these articles. It's the worst thing I've ever felt. It's the most painful. It's like, damn, I don't want to do it, man. And they're like, they kept pushing me out. And so I'm like, I'm literally just in anticipation of this spinal tap. And I'm like, you're literally about to stick your freaking needle down my spine, into my spine and pull it out. So I get on the thing, they flip me over. You never had a spinal tap. They take you down. They put you on a bed and you're usually on your stomach. And then some doctors, two ways to do it. A doctor can do it while you're completely flat, or you can kind of roll over on your side with your legs down. Okay. So I'm thinking the first time I'm laying flat and I'm thinking this is gonna be the most painful thing I've ever felt in my life. This is going to be horrid. This dude's gonna stick a needle into my freaking spine and I'm gonna feel everything about it. And so he sticks the needles in and that moment where it's like you think it's the thing, so you're like, gosh, and it's like not even the thing. It was actually just the number, and it wasn't even that bad. So I like did the same thing mentally. I just said, I'm not going to let this scare me, right? I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it, and I just let it be. Like I said, there's nothing you can do now. They need to do this, and you need this for your health. You don't know what they're going to find in the spinal tap. You got to do it, and so he numbed me up. And I felt this pressure into my back, but I didn't feel a lot. I didn't feel any pain. I just felt this pressure. So I'm like, something's happening. Please. Hey, Colby from Australia, please look after yourself and your beautiful little family. Thank you, Carrie. You take care of your family and I want you guys to be healthy, man. So yeah, they're so scary because they're like, all I saw in there is like spinal taps hurt. hurt like horribly. Like they're sticking in your spine and you feel everything. So he numbs me up and I felt that pressure in there. And then I just hear, and I'm like, what the frick is that? And then I realized it was the fluid. But it was, that one was nothing, man. No pain, zero. So that was crazy because I built it up in my head, right? I went online, I did all this research, I did all this stuff, and I made my mind up by thinking that it was going to hurt. And so I was already scared. And I think that just tells you a lot. Like I felt that pain and but it was mental. Like I was so scared of the injection for just the pain meds and the numbing than I was for the real thing. So he finished and he's like, dude, you're done. Roll over and just leave it. And so they did that. And then when I came back, they're like, we got to do another one. I'm like, dude, because there's risks, right? Like they can hit a nerve in there. They could do something wrong. You can get the worst headaches of your life. It's not, you have to sign a waiver before you do a spinal tap. So it can have its own slew of problems. And that's what scared me. I'm like, dude, I'm having all these issues in my brain. Now you want to mess with my spine. When I first got there when I got to go back real quick. When I first got to the hospital the second time, he's like, look, I have this medicine that could be good because they thought I was having a bunch of blood clots, right? They thought I was having those blood clots. So they're like, there's this medicine, and there's about I don't know what he said, 50% chance if you've had a spinal tap recently that this can paralyze you from the legs down if you take it. And I'm assuming you don't want to take it. And I said, did you just say, and maybe I think it was even higher. I was like, did you just say that I would literally not be able to walk if I took that pill after a spinal tap? And he's like, yeah, but I still have to ask. I said, I'm good. I'll risk it. I'll risk whatever that medicine's supposed to do. So that was on the table early on. Then we go through the next spinal tap. And a lot of people were coming in with different answers. So more than anything, it was confusing. And I think they were trying really hard, but there was a lot of conflicting things per person. I don't know why there's so many. I don't know if it was just every time a theory or what they saw. But it was a lot of answers that were super conflicting on the second time. So I had great care and they really did everything they could. So the second time I go down to the spinal tap, I end up going on my side and I was like, oh boy. So I'm holding myself on the bed like this. Almost all my weight is on my freaking fingers. I hold that for a good 20. This guy has me, it's twisted. And I'll never forget, there's a moment where I feel, so they inject you, right? And then they said, I guess they hit a vein. So I remember feeling just this liquid hitting my back. And I was thinking to myself, well, are they cleaning it? And then I realized that it was because they brushed it a bunch. They kept brushing it. And so they hit, I gotta go back to this, but they hit a vein in there and it just poured out of my body. Like I felt it's all numb. So there's no warm, there's no cold. There's just numbness and liquid just like hitting my back. And I was like, gosh, dang. Because then when I got up, he's like, yeah, they hit something in there, but the spinal tap was perfect. So I was like, yeah, I don't like that. And I think the thing that sticks with me, random trauma, right, is the sound of them pulling my fluid out, man. Ugh, you could hear it. So, yeah, man, it was just hard. And you know what? It's okay to be scared. I just wanted to say that it's okay to feel scared. It's okay when you're in a hospital to have fears. For your own well-being, though, that mental side is a beautiful thing to have. And I would have had if I would have been any other time in my life, I would have had panic attacks. I would have been freaking out. I couldn't have done the MRI ever. I couldn't have done all these things. So it's like, how did I do all these things that I know for a fact that Colby couldn't have done? I'm the same person. I couldn't have done that stuff. So it just showed me that there's something in you that you might not know is there because your mind's made up about yourself. And just maybe you're way stronger than you believe you are. You're way stronger than you think. So right now, I think that I'm waiting for the spinal tap. I'm supposed to do a follow-up. I'm supposed to go in and get all these things done. In the meantime, I'm discussing with Kelsey, like, being smart about this recovery, doing a process of that, not skipping steps. I definitely don't like to wait and rest. It's probably the bane of my existence is sitting there, not being able to do things in the house, help my wife the way that she deserves to be helped, all that stuff, like just simple stuff, like take out the trash, all those things. Like I don't I don't feel good when I can't do that. And so it's a really weird place. And personally, I use the gym as a coping mechanism for me. And I don't get to do that right now because I tried to go for a walk and I felt like I ran a marathon and it sucked. Um and I'm staying away from there's a big dirt patch where I think I got it right over by our neighborhood. So it's like a farmland. I think that's the culprit. I'm gonna go out there with my gloves and a mask and beat the heck out of it. Um, but anyway, yeah. So in the meantime, I'll keep you guys up to date. You know that. I just want you to know I don't feel too bad to be able to sit here and talk to you. I don't, I'll still take it easy. Probably won't do super, super long streams, but I'll make sure I won't push myself too much because I want to be here for my family and I want to be here for you guys as my family. And I'm not really ready to go. So I'm going to try to fight it. I'm going to do everything I can. I'm going to be smart about it. I'm going to take my pills and be strict about it. And, even if I don't work out for a while, I have to accept that that's better for me, even though that's one of the hardest things to do. I've already done that, by the way, Chris. The caffeine is almost zero. I think the most I've had is like a Dr. Pepper. And mostly the time when I take caffeine, it's actually supposed to be with my pills and stuff because you're supposed to take it with your headaches. So they say mix this and this until those headaches go away. So yeah, and I'm grateful, man. I didn't know and this might sound like over dramatic, and honestly, you can take it for what it is. I didn't know if I'd make it home after all that stuff. Like I didn't know if I'd have another stroke. Yeah, I don't know. It was just scary, very scary. And I felt horrible that Kelsey was here by herself with not having support, having to do everything while she's feeling that way she was feeling. So it was a hard time, but you guys helped us through it. Like seriously, you guys have gone above and beyond in every way to love and support our family. And you've gone above and beyond anything. I'm actually just more in shock than anything. I've been telling that to Kelsey. Kelsey said the same thing. Like, we can't believe that we have people who care and love us so much. Like, we care about you and love you. So it's like, I would love to think that if you guys were in this position and we knew about it, we would all gather and try to help each other. That's huge. You know what I mean? Like, that's what this community is built on. So, but with all that being said, I love you. I will keep you up to date. I absolutely promise you that. Like I told you, we have a lot of things that we can do. You guys, I know we're worried about me being too stressed out to add to it. So I'm going to be really thoughtful about how we're going to close this chapter that we started on this channel with all this stuff with my family, because we are going to be trying to help other people and at least give perspective on other cases. So I will just tell you when it's decisions are made, we'll go forward from there. Hope you guys are doing amazing. I hope you're not having to spend your time in the hospital or anywhere else. And I'm really blessed to be here with you guys. And I'm really blessed to just be home with my family, and just thank you. I'll never be able to tell you that enough. Thank you for the love, support. You guys have been incredible. And yeah, thank you, man. Hope you guys have a great night. Like I said, I will keep you up to date next time we're going live. And I can't wait to see you guys again. Appreciate you guys. Have a great day or night. And I love you.